Hey everybody, it's BDF44 coming at you with another video. Okay, so I said that I was going to make one on the Clippers game 3, Clippers Suns game 3 that's about to start up right now. So that is what I intend to do here. To make it completely honest with you guys, I'm not surprised by anything that I've seen in the series. The Clippers winning that game, they were supposed to win game 2. They were supposed to win that game. And the reason why they were supposed to win that game is because Chris Paul had just gotten back. Cameron Payne had just been removed, and at this point, basically, what you're relying upon is the team to be able to adjust to swapping point guards, and that's a difficult adjustment to make. Couple that with Devin Booker not being himself, dealing with the mask and everything like that. Yeah, that's going to be very tough. If Chris Paul, Cam Payne, and Devin Booker are not 100% for sure. In this era of the Suns, they need all three of those players to play well, especially since the Clippers have a plethora of guards that they can throw at you, particularly on the defensive end, that can harm you. So, yeah, you definitely want your guard position to be strong, and the Suns just had a really tough time dealing with that. So, I think as this series progresses, hopefully Cam Payne is nursing back. He's coming back. Hopefully, I don't know when, but he's going to have to get back into the rhythm of things. He was playing at such a high level. You can't expect him to come back and play like that off an injury. So that's a tough blow for the Suns. However, Chris Paul, he's gotten the game under his belt. Now we are going to be looking at him to bounce back and play better, play with more pace, play with more of an urgency in regards to making sure that others are comfortable with the pace that they're playing in. That half-court setting, they were able to have some success with it, but it also allowed a very good defensive team an opportunity to set up against them. That's not going to work. You definitely do not want that. You want to make sure that you keep those Clippers backing up on their heels. Zubac, y'all got to make an adjustment. He won that game. He won game 3. That matchup with him and Ayton, that was not what you want. You want to see Ayton continue to dominate, exert his athleticism, have Zubac reaching and jumping and doing everything that he needs to do to be off balance. That's another reason why you do not want to play half court with the Clippers, because you have the athletic edge in that front court, in that center position. So you want to make sure that you got Zubac running for dear life up and down the court, exerting way too much energy. That's what you want. If you set up half court, that plays into his hands. That plays into the hands of the Clippers, as you're making it so that Ayton doesn't have that edge to be able to outrun this guy, and that's what you want. So you saw the Zubac rebound the ball extremely well in game 3. I'm expecting to see the pace pick up so that doesn't happen. He was the biggest beneficiary of Chris Paul coming back and the pace slowing down, period. That cannot happen. So that's one thing I'm paying attention to. What else? Excuse me, I know that I said, I'm thinking about this, but I know that I said game 2 earlier in the video. I'm aware that I just slipped to the tongue. I know that we've played 3 games so far. This is game 4 coming up. But anyway, to make my thought come together in regards to this game, what I expect to see is the Clippers continuing to make adjustments that work. They have shown me all playoff long that they have the best coach in the game right now for making adjustments from game to game. He studies well, and he does exactly what he needs to do to give you a different look. You're never going to get comfortable against these Clippers because they're always going to throw something at you that makes you adjust to what it is that you are doing. If something worked, chances are it ain't going to work this time, and that's the brilliance of Ty Lue. My confidence in him has risen since he's joined the Clippers dramatically. I see him as a different coach than I did when we were having negotiations for him coming to this team. I see him differently now. He's done a fantastic job with these Clippers, and I've had a chance to study him more in these playoffs than I was able to in the past. I know that he's better than just being LeBron's coach. I just want to make that clear to everybody who remembers me saying that, or anybody that goes back and sees those videos. Yeah, new information changes my opinion. Ty Lue is the real deal, and as long as he has a team of guys that can execute his vision, uh, his teams are going to be very good. Because I'm telling you, it's very obvious that this Clipper team without Kawhi Leonard is a bunch of really, really solid vets overachieving and a superstar caliber player that has underwhelmed us over the last several years in Paul George. They are overachieving dramatically. You're getting the best possible basketball out of Reggie Jackson, and he's doing it as consistently as anybody. You're getting great basketball play out of a rookie in Terrence Mann. You got Patrick Beverly playing some of the best basketball he's played in years after having so many injury issues and during critical times. You just got a perfect storm for these Clippers. So in a game like today, in Game 4, you may see all of that come together. And I would not be surprised if they win Game 4 at all. They have made a living coming back in the series. Like I said, the adjustments and all of that is A1. They have the players and the vets and the combination of young players and talent to do it. The only deficiency I really see with that Clippers is that they are a slightly less talented front court team as it pertains to athleticism. But Zubac is a veteran at this point. He's now entering that in his prime stage, and he's coming off a really good game. Very, very much curious to see how he approaches Ayton and how Ayton approaches him. Those are the two players I'm paying attention to tonight. Because if whoever wins that battle, I think is going to win this game. I really do believe that. Chris Paul, again, I think he's going to play better. I think he's going to pick up the pace. I think his wind is going to be better. His legs are going to be better. His jump shot's going to be better. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a big game tonight, because all it really takes for a superstar like that is a game or two to get his legs, and that's that. Then he's back to being himself, and that's a bad thing for anybody else. The only problem is his backup, Cameron Payne. Will he be available? If not, that can be a thing. So, yeah. Mikal Bridges, you know what I think of Mikal Bridges. I'm like a broken record as it pertains to that kid. I think he's one of the best players still playing left that nobody really knows about. And I think as these playoffs progress, his legacy is going to continue to be built, just like Booker's, just like Trae Young's, just like some of these other guys, just Collins. You're going to see this is a big game for him, put it like that. This is a big game for his legacy going forward as a young player with potential. These are the type of games where if you can win, if you can be a big factor in making sure that your team doesn't fall to the same fate as the other two teams the Clippers faced, and this is one of the more important games to do that because this puts you up 3-1 as opposed to 2-2. Yeah, if you're going to have a big game tonight, that would be huge for anybody in this game. Anybody, both teams. This is a very important game. But I think for a guy like Mikal Bridges, I'd love to see him play well tonight. So let's see what else. Who else is on that team that I want to speak on? This is what it is. You got the Western Conference Finals, two teams that have never won a championship. Somebody from the West is going to get a chance at it for the very first time, and this is something that we may not see again for a very, very long time. So I'm expressing appreciation, and I thank you guys also for watching. I think I'll leave the video at that. What do I expect to see? I think the Clippers are going to still on the fence about that, to be honest with you. But judging by how things have gone and looking at the adjustments the Suns have to make, I think the edge goes to the Clippers tonight. Again, they're at home. They're coming off a win. They did dominate the boards. A lot of things have to fall into place for the Suns in order for them to play well on the road. Booker's going to have to play much better with that mask. Hopefully that adjustment's there. Again, campaign, see how he plays. Cam Johnson's going to be continuously important. His game and his elevation is continuing, just like Mikal Bridges. Exact same thing applies. Big game for a guy like that. Crowder, if Jay Crowder can have a big game at some point in these playoffs, if he can give them a 15-point plus game or something like that, and that's a big game for a guy in his role because his emphasis is mostly on the defensive end. But if he can hit his three and have a big game where he strings together maybe 4 threes in one game, I think that'll be huge for the Phoenix Suns. It would be great for their team if he could do something like that tonight. Just get hot from behind three. Because really that's all they're going to ask him to do. He's going to get those open threes. He's going to have those opportunities. If he hits them, they're a better team. So that's a big thing, especially with Cam missing. They're going to need to make up that scoring, and I expect he'll have opportunities to help them with that. So Yeah, man, that's what I got. That's what I got. Patrick Beverly is somebody I'm paying attention to. He's gonna be hounding Chris Paul. He's gonna be hounding whoever he's on. Devin Booker. Expect that. As far as Paul George, Paul George has had a great playoffs, man. I wouldn't be surprised if Paul George has another 30-point game. He did have that blip with the missed free throws, but he's in shape. He's healthy, and with the exception of that little blip, he's playing loose. I expect that tonight. He's home. Obviously, a huge game for him. He's the star of the show on the Clippers side. I expect him to hold his weight. I expect him to give us 30-plus points tonight. I always expect 30-plus points from Paul George. I think that the thing about it is I also always expect George to let me down. I think that's the issue. It's like you expect from that talent to give you this, and then you also expect for him not to give it to you because that's what you get from him a lot of the time. But these playoffs are a little different, and I do expect that he's going to play well. I do. Call me crazy, but I'm expecting Paul George to go off. So, all that being said, yeah, I've convinced myself the Clippers are going to win game 4 and tie this series up. I just think that's a lot for the Phoenix Suns to try to adjust to, man. This is your point guards, the two most important pieces of their team, the two engines that make things go, are both not right. That's what it really comes down to. And I'm not even talking about Devin Booker. I'm talking about Payne and CP3. So, yeah, until those players are all back running the way they're supposed to run, I just think that they're going to be playing off balance, and that plays into the Clippers' hands. So with Ty Lue making these adjustments and them trying to come back from that, I ultimately think this series is going to sway again. So I still think the Phoenix Suns are going to win the series because I think all of this is going to come together by the end of it. But the journey there is going to be tough, and I do see the Phoenix Suns falling tonight. So hopefully I'm wrong because I'm going for the Suns. But, yeah, that's what I see is going to happen tonight. Clippers going to win tonight. And, yeah, thank you guys for watching. My name is BDF44. I'm out.